Now the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops, and it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I'm gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Oh boy, whoa, 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 whoa. Going off into deeper water. Stripping line. Whoa, boy. I'll let you calm down before I stick my hand in that big old mouth of yours. Liked it too. It's a pretty one. Yes, you are. Talk to you. Boom. Okay. It's a pretty good way to get things started on this little fella right here. We'll talk about this in a little bit. Alrighty. Had a fella ask me not too long ago, what is it about some fishermen who catch more fish than others, day in and day out? Well, there's several key reasons that come to mind. One is because they know the lake. 2, they know seasonal patterns of that lake. 3, they know the behavioral patterns of their quarry. 4th, they know they're very versatile anglers. 5th, they have the confidence in the ability and equipment. 6th, they're very persistent. You know, successful fishermen who continue to catch fish even when conditions are tough will tell you that the key to their success is their ability to find underwater structure. They'll also tell you that for every few fish they catch after the spawn close to the shoreline, they'll catch many more holding on some form of underwater structure. Sometimes it's shallow, other times it's deep. Any good structure fisherman will also tell you that a graft is a valuable aid in finding good fish holding structure, and perhaps a greater aid to the graft operator is a small colorful plastic buoy marker designed to visibly identify the area where structure is located. It's smart to keep a marker buoy close at hand, just in case, for example, you lose something overboard. A marker dropped immediately at the spot can possibly speed the recovery of an item lost. Yes, I got it. Oh, good one too. Ooh. Pretty fish there, boy. Pretty means big. There he goes back. Whoop, back up to the front. Doggone you. Got it. Look at that. Ooh-wee. Hello. All right, buddy. We're going home.
Bill Dance Outdoors. Sponsored by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. And by Mercury Marine, go boldly. Today's conditions log.
Brought to you by Wormville, USA. Bringing you big fat red worms and night crawlers from the nation's largest worm farm for 30 years. Wormville, USA. Fish love them.
Where are you going? Not all that big, but he's strong. I think I should point out, regardless of how good or how successful a fisherman is, no matter how much he knows, no matter how versatile he is, he's not going to catch fish every time he goes. If he's honest, he'll tell you that. If he's honest, he'll tell you that. However, I will say the more experienced you are, the better your odds. But let's face it, there are just going to be days, no matter what you do, you're not going to catch them, even when other fishermen do. You're not going back in there as hard as you want to. Whoa, stripping line. Look at a pretty chunky little old fish right there. That rat got in there though. Who said fishing was easy? You come back here. I'm gonna pull you in right here. Got you. Get that hook out. I gotta come out of this jacket, I know that. It's burning up. There we go. Not a bad little bass. A lot of work to get him. Little rascal. Okay. Toodaloo. Yes, it is time to come out of this jacket. Out of it. Now it's time to come out of these bushes. Spattered out. I'll tell you one thing, that trolling motor will cut out of it. It'll cut right through it. That is the most powerful trolling motor I believe I've ever used, and the quietest trolling motor I've ever used. You know, years and years ago, a good buddy of mine that worked for Pradco Lure Company, we got together and we designed a bait. Pradco said, design us a good looking crankbait. And so I'd always wanted a crankbait that would dive vertically. And I guess I got that idea from old Jim Bagley when I worked for Bagley Bait Company. Made the DB3. But I wanted a bait that didn't wobble as much. I wanted a bait that would dive absolutely vertical and had a tight wiggle. So Jim said, I think I know what you want. Let me work on some prototypes and we'll play with those. So we came up with a bait that looks something like this. It looks exactly like this. It was a bait we designed that had kind of flat sides and had a lip that ran straight off the nose. And the reason the lip ran off the nose, when you started to crank, the bait would go straight down. It was a vertical dive. It didn't go off at an angle. As soon as you started, it would go straight down. The flatter sides, it created a tighter wiggle and would go down. Where a rounder type body was kind of like a beach ball. It's harder to push down. Try to push a beach ball under the water. It wants to go like this. Where the tighter body would go straighter down. Another thing we wanted to do was put kick-out features on either side of the lip, where if it hit something, it would deflect off the sides. So we got the bait exactly what we wanted, and we come up with a name. Well, the big craze back then was fat-free. So we designed the bait, and we said, well, let's call it a fat-free shad. And that's what we did, and we made it in several different sizes. In a 5, a 6, a 7, a 9, and the size dictated to the depth that the bait would run.
Today's show is brought to you by Zebco, teaching America to fish since 1949. Wormville, USA. We've been growing these big fat red worms for 30 years. And Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's equipment log, brought to you by the Bill Dance Giant Bass Open, the first major 365-day bass tournament for anyone, anytime. Sign up at gbonationwide.com to win cash and great prizes. Today's show is sponsored by Monster Marine Lithium, lighter, stronger, longer. Bill Dance Combos by Zebco, teaching America to fish since 1949. And by Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder.
That's crazy. You got it good too, didn't you, old boy? Better get my pliers. Gotta come back here. Got it way down in there, it looks like. Got that bait all the way down in his mouth. Got it. Pretty one. Yes, you are. You know, there are other keys to becoming a more successful angler. It pays to pay close attention and careful attention on what you're going to do when you fish and around while you're fishing. This is definitely going to help make you a much better fisherman. You want to pay attention to where you're fishing and what's going on around you while you're fishing. You want to be looking for bird activity, any schooling activity. If you hear a chonk, that indicates there's surface activity in the area. Any bird activity, just you want to be observant and watch exactly what's going on. Paying attention, that's going to help you to become a much better fisherman. Your degree of alertness and power of observation and confidence you have at the moment can and does make a big difference. Your concentration on what's taking place around you can tip the scales towards success. You know, when I look back at the really successful bass fishermen I've met, they all possess an uncanny ability to be able to recall certain circumstances surrounding the catches of fish after fish. They know the location, water depth, water clarity, and temperature, the type of lure, the size and color, the presentation, wind direction, weather, and a host of variables. They have total recall of these facts year after year. Nothing they do is haphazard. Each piece of the fishing puzzle fits into place in their minds. And when you train yourself to concentrate as thoroughly as they do, well, you're well on your way to becoming a successful fisherman. There's one. Where are you going, Buster? Under the boat. There we go. Through. Here we go. Oh, you got hooks all over your face. Okay, my boy. Here we go. One perfect dive, nose. Just a perfect nose dive.
The Bill Dance Question and Answer of the Week is brought to you by Bill Dance Combos by Zebco, teaching America to fish since 1949. Available at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Got to be the new dynamic charging system for Monster Marine Lithium. It's custom designed, custom built, and the best charging system you can put in your boat. This dynamic charger offers dual charging, an integrated smart battery monitor, on-the-run charging, emergency jump start, and the lithium battery to wake up in case you ever run down to a zero charge.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Cast King Tri-Polymer and Hammer Braid Fishing Lines, and by Garmin Force Trolling Motors. Fish with force. Closed captioning provided by PowerPole. Swift, silent, secure. Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, Shark Plotter Sonar Combos. With their advanced sonar technology, like Panoptic's Live Scope all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
How do I reach those hard-to-get places? Sometimes all you need is a dependable little workhorse. And my 9.9 Mercury on my 14-foot Tracker John boat is perfect. It allows me to maneuver around standing timber and cover, and it enables me to get exactly where I want to go very quietly. I simply love it. Lightweight, smooth, and built Mercury tough is proof good things do come in small packages.
Come be part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. Follow us.
This little guy has been a favorite with fishermen for years. Bomber's Fat-Free Shad Fingerling. It's just one of 6 in the family that we designed many years ago. This 5 size is 2 3/8 inches long. It weighs 3/8 of an ounce and will dive to about 8 to 10 feet on a long cast. It's got an exciting tight wiggle action and is responsive with an ease of retrieve never seen before in a bait of its size and running depth. Hey, I realize there are a lot of things to think about, but believe me, in time, with more experience on the water, even a beginning angler will learn a little each time he goes. And every time he goes, he's gonna get better and better. Shoot, tell you what, look at Skeet Reese, Shaw Grigsby, Gary Klein, Hank Parker, Kevin, KBD, Roland Martin, the Giggler, Jimmy Houston. You know, when they started out, they couldn't catch enough fish to feed a baby kid. But look at them now. They still can't. Oh, yeah, they can. They can catch enough fish now to feed a full-grown tiger. One key thing all these guys have in common, they're all ugly. No, they're all pretty persistent, and they never give up. They never lose their confidence level, no matter how tough it is. They believe every cast they make will result in a strike and a catch. I know because they're friends of mine, and I've had the pleasure to fish with each one of them. Their persistence is just another reason they're so successful. Successful anglers have learned you can't buy, borrow, charge, or steal fishing success. Success is based solely on knowledge and experience. Look at that, that looks good in there. Where is that fish going? There he goes. All right, boy. Look at that. Big rascal he. There he goes. Stripping line, stripping line, stripping line. Come back, don't get on that troll anymore. Big toughie. Come on, baby. Look at that. Ooh, that bait just did fall out. Isn't that a pretty fat joker? Yes, you are. Ta-ta. Woo. I'll tell you one thing. These old bass love this little thing. And you know something? So do I. In closing, let me say again that successful fishermen work, study very, very hard to be consistent. But even then, they're never 100% successful, regardless of how much they know. But you can bet those who have lots of experience, knowledge, persistence, and confidence are going to fish much more carefully, more thoroughly, and more effectively, and more comfortably. Therefore, they're going to be much more successfully. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.